That's good for everybody that's going to listen to it. That's how we're starting this.
One podcast, just a bunch of weird noises.
Yeah, we're just making a bunch of weird noises.
Well, we're back.
Again.
After a long...
hiatus?
Yes.
I've done a couple of episodes for grad school. That didn't count, though.
I haven't done any.
I think the last one we did was...
Was it the one with Stembridge? Or no, we did one after that?
We did one in the weight room.
Oh, yeah, that was the last one, I think.
Yeah, that was right... That was this time last year because I was getting ready to do the Open.
Yeah.
And then we did one.
Yep. Been pretty much a year. Lots happened in a year.
Lots happened in a year. There's... If you hear any weird pitter-patter in the background, there's because there's 2 dogs in this room, and neither of them are mine.
Or you might hear one go psycho.
Yeah. It I don't know why I think so, but it sounds like the Predator. Like when they're in the weird.
Yeah.
That's like Winston sounds like that.
Yeah. Winston, the little Yorkie.
He has little man syndrome.
Yep.
Scout, on the other hand, he's happy.
What'd you find?
Are you eating a bear? That's a chocolate bear. I gave that to Haley, Scout.
Puppy syndrome.
Puppy syndrome. That's what you have, Scout. So yeah, all the background noise is us dealing with the dogs at the same time. We're doing it.
All right. We're back. We're doing this again. We're unhindered.
Living unhindered. Trying to live unhindered. Yes. This is another episode with no video, so what he just did was show me his shirt, and we made 2 shirts. I have one and Buck has one. They both say unhindered.
You'll see him eventually.
Yeah, eventually. One day, regardless of what happens, you'll see him.
All right, so today, we kind of talked about this earlier.
Yeah, we did.
But talking about the importance of community. What it means to be part of a community or part of a team.
Yeah.
Because we as humans are not meant to be lonely creatures.
No, absolutely not. As much as some of us say we are.
Right. I mean, everybody needs their alone time.
Correct.
But ultimately, we rely on each other to survive, to thrive, to live.
Unhindered. Yeah, and I think one of the biggest examples that we see with that stuff is that both of us have experienced and even experienced together a couple times. He's fine. Scout's fine. Is like being at a CrossFit gym. Mm-hmm. That was what we related it to.
Right. I mean, you can, once you're part of the CrossFit community, you're part of it for pretty much the rest of your life.
That's why sometimes they call us a cult. Yeah.
I mean, if you really dive into the hardcore people of any group.
True, yeah.
You could start to call them a cult.
And the only reason that we don't group in what I call the Globo gyms, which is like your Planet Fitness or anything, is because a lot of people go there, they put their headphones on, and they don't talk to anybody. I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but I feel like from what I've seen,
right,
that's the majority of it.
Whereas you walk into a CrossFit gym and you're talking to literally everyone.
Right, yeah.
And then you work out together. It's not like you're in there doing your individual thing.
Yeah, you all do the same thing. Yeah.
And then you're all dying together.
Yeah, at least it feels like it sometimes.
And then at the end, you all kind of, cool off, stretch.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk,
There's been a lot of, sorry to interrupt you, but there's been a lot of fun. Like our gym owner, Jeff, has been out of town, so I got to... Monday he'll be back, but I got to basically the 5 a.m. class, at least on Monday through Thursday. I got to coach and that was a lot of fun, kind of put in that role, seeing the community of it. I knew that we had a good day if we all stayed and talked afterwards.
Right.
If it was a bad day, we all just got our stuff on and left.
It's funny because other good days, it's when everybody stays, but they're not talking.
Yeah, right. They're just like, I'm dead.
Laying on the floor, but they're suffering together.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, even coaching high school sports, we see it. When the kids really buy into the idea of being part of the team, it makes a difference.
Right.
And I think not only then are you removing obstacles for yourself, but you're removing obstacles from a team.
Right.
when you really buy into the idea of the community.
Right. And it's tough, especially with some high school athletes. And, I think a lot of them are kind of in the mindset of, I need to do everything myself, and I can make myself better. You press that button and my phone went off. So, anyway, backstory to that is he's got a remote that'll vibrate on Scout's collar, and he pressed it and my phone vibrated. I was like, what just happened?
Scout traded
I think he's upstairs with Haley.
That's okay. I just want to make sure he's not eating anything.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's a puppy. He's 10 months old.
Yeah. But, yeah, I feel like and I think you see it too. The track team's been in the weight room the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
What? And you can pick out the people that aren't used to working together.
Right.
It's really easy.
And, I mean, track is not as much of a team sport as some other sports.
Right.
But at the same time, we all have to work hard as individuals to succeed as a team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have to still support each other and be there for each other. And each one's going through their own personal hell at competition.
Right.
I mean, when I was in high school, I ran the mile, the 800, the 2 mile, which sucked.
That's horrible.
But I would turn around and be like, I never want to run that 100 meter.
Oh yeah.
I'll run 3,200 meters over a 100-meter sprint any day. Whereas the sprinters are like, I'm not running a 400.
Right.
Like, I'm not running one lap.
Yeah.
So like everyone has their own strengths, but together we make a unit, one team.
Right.
And it's really cool when everybody buys into this idea of let's not just get individuals to succeed, but succeed as a team.
I mean, that's another big thing. And I've heard it from somebody else. It's not like I made it up. I couldn't tell you who it was. I've listened to a podcast or watching a video or something, but they said that if you can get the people around you to be successful, like if you pour your energy into other people, and so the community idea of it, you're going to end up being caught in that wave and being successful regardless. And
that's kind of why I do the community service project for class.
Yeah.
It's trying to get kids involved in their community. And, doing things for other people. Because once they see that they can make a difference, it's kind of infectious.
Right, yeah.
And, so I have kids that have done the project in the past where they're coming back and being like, when's the day? When's the day? Do we get to go? What can we do? Yeah. And, it's kind of, hopefully now it's going to be able to build into even something bigger.
Yeah, like the whole school day.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. I mean, what kid doesn't want to get out of school?
It was kind of cool. Last year, the group that I was with, we got put on the news.
Right.
Which was, I don't know how that was. That was crazy.
And that was just somebody from the community bringing it out, like contacting the news and bringing them out. That wasn't, we didn't set that up.
We didn't set that up. We just happened to be walking and they were there.
The students weren't trying to get attention for what they were doing. Mm-mm. They were truly just trying to do some good in their community, and then they got recognized.
Right.
Which was really
cool.
But now the other kids have seen it, and they're coming up, and they're like, well, when do we get to go do that?
Right.
And then they're throwing around ideas, but I was like, it's coming.
Right.
So, even then, it's, not just helping the community as a whole, but within the school.
Yeah, absolutely. The climate of the school.
Right, and kids are being able to see that they can make a difference. You don't have to be
because,
anyone in power.
Right, and that's a good topic to what I was just going to say is, I was talking to one of the students, and it was like, I'm like, well, why are you so upset that, I don't know what it is, but he's always upset at the end of training, and it's like, why are you so upset all the time? Trust me, I'm not trying to single you out. No offense, but you're not that important.
Right.
I'm not trying to just make things that are hard for you.
Right.
And he was like, well, was all this stuff going to make me, successful? I'm like, what does that mean? What is your definition of being successful?
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. But anyway, he was like, well, he kept using the word I. And it was like, I want to win. I want to be good at this. I want to be good at that. I'm like, how do you think you're going to do that? Unfortunately, if you look at it that way, other people are your ways to get opportunity.
Right.
How many times have you gotten things because you know somebody?
Right.
Yeah.
not saying that knowing people gets you everywhere.
Right,
but, like,
absolutely not.
Hard work gets you in the places to know the right people.
Correct, yep.
And I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, like, you have people that have experienced this before.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to tell you that this is going to make you better, faster, stronger, more competitive, better all-around person. And again, it's buying into that idea. If you can buy into that and trust the people around you, I mean, trust is a huge thing in community, right?
Right.
I mean, we see people, you start lying, cheating, stealing, you get exiled.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, you have to have that trust aspect, but you got to trust people that want to help you.
Right.
And, that's another part of community is surrounding yourself with people that are good for you.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of times being teachers, we see kids that are
part of the wrong community.
Right. Or they're surrounding themselves with the wrong people, or they have way more potential than they're fulfilling.
Yeah, and that's usually when we're the most frustrated.
Right.
It's like, I know that you have so much potential, you're choosing not to use it.
Right.
That's when if you're dumb or not, like, you don't have any potential, it doesn't make us that upset.
Right.
Not saying I'm not trying to reach you,
right.
It just doesn't keep me awake at night.
Right. But, the kid that I know is smarter, just not doing their work.
Exactly.
Or, I know you know the material, you just got to turn the stuff in.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
And I've said this to a couple students, and I know that they're young, and we keep talking about student things, but this applies to everything else. I'm like, if I cannot trust you to turn your paper in on Friday, how can I trust you to run a Fortune 500 company?
Right.
Like, obviously they're like, oh, it's not the same. Like, it's exactly the same.
Right. And I mean, that's so with the service project. I mean, you were in my class last year.
Yeah.
I literally don't do anything for it.
Right. They did it all.
And it builds up to the point where essentially we come back from spring break, and I'm like, you're doing a service project on this day.
Yeah. Here's the guidelines to make the documents.
Right. And they're like, what? But they literally do anything.
Yeah.
Or everything, right? Yeah. And so that's where they kind of are able to pull all that stuff together. And you really see some kids shine in that project that don't shine necessarily on the academic side.
Right.
Kids that, they work hard, but they can't quite get that A. It's not clicking.
Right.
But the minute you put them in charge of helping other people or give them an opportunity to do something that they really enjoy, it's a completely different experience.
Right. Dog on the table. Good job, Winston.
Just got uncomfortable or what?
But I mean, there's a guy that I've listened to a couple times, seen at some conferences. I read his books. Actually, I don't know if any of his books are up here. They might be upstairs. But his name's Andy Andrews. I have too many books to glance over. But his name's Andy Andrews. And he said, one of the things that he always used to say that when I was young, and obviously my parents just tell me, but obviously it just meant more coming from somebody else that wasn't my parents. That's how we were all like that.
Right.
Was, if you want to soar with eagles, you just hang out with eagles. If you want to peck at the ground like chickens, then you hang out with chickens.
Right.
And I think that says a lot about the community that you're trying to be a part of.
Right. I mean, that even fits into so I grew up in scouting.
Yeah.
Right, and I always aspired to be an eagle by following other Eagle Scouts.
Right.
Right. I want to be like them. I want to, do the things that they're doing. So, I mean, it kind of takes that analogy and makes it more literal.
It literal, yeah.
If you want to be an eagle, you've got to work for it.
Right.
It's not something that's just given out.
Right.
And, I mean, that's pretty much anything. You want to be a state champion, you got to work for it. But hang out with champions.
I feel like a lot of people struggle with that idea.
Right.
So I can just start naming off the people that are better than me at the stuff I do, especially like at the CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I coach and everything, but it doesn't mean I'm the best at it or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I played soccer, I always wanted to play with people that were better than I was.
Right.
Because I knew that it would end up helping me be better and get better.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people these days are afraid of not being the best. Mm-hmm. So they hang around with people that they're better than.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have so much more potential.
Right.
Like they could get so much further if they would step up a level and challenge themselves, you know, and like, because that's where you really learn, is in failure and in struggle.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're good.
Right.
But like, you know, sometimes it's like you're good for this area, or you know, you're good in this thing. But like, if you challenge yourself, really challenge yourself, you could be, you know,
way better.
You know, playing college sports, you could be going professional if you really worked at it. You know, and we have kids that maybe never thought about playing in college before,
right?
That have worked their butt off not only on the field or in the weight room, but like in the classroom as well.
Right.
You know, like we have a kid that's a freshman this year.
Yeah.
At a community college.
Yeah.
Kicking butt.
He's doing good. And he's not a kid anymore, so you can just call him Eric.
We could.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
Shout out to Eric.
But you know, like,
he used to come in the garage and train.
Right. But I like,
until he even said, "Well, I have to get more jobs and keep working harder." I said, "Dude, hats off to you."
Right.
Know?
Yeah. Well, and even his work ethic, like, I know I can be better. What do I need to do it?
Right.
And like,
and that, I mean, that's a, you know, kind of keeping that community idea. We said that trust was a big thing, and I think that trust in a community leads to, can you look at the people you're a part of and like seek help or seek advice from them?
Right.
You know.
And another thing is, personally, being able to reflect on what are your strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
And how do you fit into a community to make the community better.
Right.
Right. So
I mean, that's the cool part is, you know, you're with all your friends, and it's kind of like, well, the people I'm with are kind of good at the things that I'm bad at, and maybe I'm better at some things that they're not good at, and you get everybody together, and it's kind of like you got one unit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, like in CrossFit, there's always that one workout where they put it up on the board. It's like partner, and you're like,
yeah, right.
That guy, that guy's got to be my partner.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, even in like relationships, you know, like I'm married, but we balance each other out. We don't agree on everything.
Absolutely.
We don't have the same interests.
Right.
But we support each other.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with me and Haley. We're not married,
right?
But it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's really about finding people that are going to make you a better person.
Correct. And
then vice versa.
Exactly.
That you can make them better at whatever it is.
Right.
You know, so I think a lot of people take the community that they're a part of for granted.
Oh, yeah.
And don't use the strengths within their community to really grow.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's kind of what hinders people.
Yeah. So hindering.
But I don't know, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and like finding the right community.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why people that go to college spend so much time trying to find the college they want to go to.
Right.
Right? If you're really looking, you know, you're going to find the community that you fit into.
Want, yeah.
Right? Or, you know, jobs. Yeah. Not everybody likes their first job.
It's true. It's true.
Right? Or their second job, or their third job.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's part of finding the community that you really fit into.
Right.
And so, I don't know, I just think a lot of people don't realize that it's okay to move on.
Yeah.
And to find where you fit.
Right.
And sometimes you're going to outgrow communities. Yeah. Or you're going to need to step away for a little bit.
Right, yeah.
And get new experiences and then come back and,
right,
you know, lead in a different way. Or, you know, be a part in a different way. Leading's not always from the front.
True story.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about community over the past year.
Yeah. Yeah, since we had last talked about it.
You know, like seeing like communities come together in adversity.
Yeah.
You know, like we had an incident with a soccer player.
Yeah.
And like just the way that not even our town and our school, but like the way that the soccer community in the area came together.
Yeah.
Like we had people from all over the area sending him notes and writing him letters, and, you know, even professional teams sending him stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. You know, and that's the kind of communities that I love being a part of.
Right.
Like, we don't know these people. I couldn't tell you who they were if they walked past me, or like, oh yeah, that person plays for this team or coaches this team.
Right, exactly.
You know, but like they sent stuff in not knowing him. Whoa.
There's the dog fight.
There's the psychos.
Yeah, you guys go fight off the podcast.
But, you know, they came together when somebody really needed it, and they were able to support him. And, you know, I love that kind of community.
Right.
And I think everybody is a part of that community or can be part of that community.
Sorry, we're taking a moment to watch the dogs fight each other. I think that's called playing.
And just for other
Why do you want to fight right on my feet?
One dog is 8 pounds, the other is 55.
Yeah, just so you guys kind of have a visual. One dog is looking at me eye level, and the other one is at my foot.
But the smaller one's the alpha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think I just wanted to talk about it and encourage people to
this is good. Yeah.
Find your community, find your place.
Right.
You know.
And I think it's okay to be a part of more than one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Everybody's part of more than one group.
Yeah.
I mean, we coach multiple sports.
Right.
You know, we do things outside of school.
Right.
You know, school is a community in itself.
Right.
You know,
the people we work with, that's one community.
And so it's okay to be part of multiple communities and have different roles within each community.
Exactly, yeah.
But I want to encourage people to just stop and reflect. Like, is this group or this community making me a better person?
Right.
Am I making the people around me better?
Yeah. Am I the reason that the community's not getting better? Right.
And, I mean, I think everybody at all levels.
Right.
Not just us normal folk.
Right. Right.
Go to work, go home, you know. But, like, powerful.
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah.
People, you know, need to look at how are they making the world around them a better place.
Right.
And be able to talk and have those hard conversations. And trust each other.
Yeah.
But I think that's all.
I think that's it.
Just had to get it out there.
We just had to get one out there. Hopefully this is a start of another consistent maybe bi-weekly series.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually schedule time to settle down. I mean, in the past year we've both moved.
Oh, I know.
We've taken on more responsibilities.
Yeah. Currently, I coach 3 different things outside of being a teacher.
Right. I mean, I coach 2 sports. I'm starting another group at school.
What group are you starting?
Student Voice Committee.
That's right. I saw that on that. Yeah.
Encourage students to have voice in their school and like change it and be a part of.
You mean more than just walking up and yelling at people?
Right. Getting involved in church and doing all kinds of things. But we're back.
We're back. That's the big thing. Find a community, people you trust.
And you know what? The Unhindered community is going to grow.
That's right. We're at 50 subscribers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Compared to some other places, that's nothing, but for us, that's amazing.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so find us on YouTube. I keep uploading to SoundCloud, too, if you really want it.
Don't we have a website, too?
Yeah, it's YouTube. Let's just say I didn't renew the payment on the website. I'm making a Google Sites one, so that might be in the works too. So that one will be free.
Right. We'll keep that one updated.
Yeah, I'll keep that one updated. I think I'm just going to turn the one I use for my grad school into that. So.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, subscribe, share.
Live unhindered.
Living unhindered. All right, guys.
Have a good one.
If you're from my gym, that's hilarious. Peace.